Welcome back to a Philly Escape Podcast, episode 36. We're back 4 strong. Boys are back in town. Eagles are 10-1. So we got talking a lot of Eagles and basically all football again. But Packers post game breakdown. We'll look ahead next week into the Tennessee Derrick Henrys for the week, and then we'll talk a little bit Madden rankings. So I'll hand it off to Jackson at the end there. I know he's got some notes typed up for us, so he's eager to get started on that one.
Got some
He's
notes. I
he's
got a
got
little
he's got
game.
pages,
I love it.
double space, single space. So we're gonna dive right into it.
MLA format.
So
My guys even got the
yeah.
Burger King headset on. Can't hate
Right.
that.
I couldn't even.
may I take your order?
I tried to print it out at work, but I couldn't print it out. The website was blocked, so I had to take snippets using the snipping tool and
Damn, we're
print out
trying to keep you
5
down.
different snipping tool images.
Is each square aligned? That's like my OCD. That's if they're not the same size.
Each square is
Probably
10 players.
10 players. Okay. So a lot of work. Needless to say, a lot of work has gone into this. So
Yes.
proud of that. I want to open it up to you guys to start. We'll get into the Packers post game breakdown, and we'll talk about how dominant this run game was and what it took to win, and who deserves the game ball. But want to open it up with something because I'm pretty pissed off. I'm pissed off with not the Eagles. Before you don't go all crazy on me, but with WIP, of course, sports radio.
Our arch
Oh
nemesis.
no.
The
Oh
takes
no, I
today.
know where this is going. Go ahead.
It's I feel at this point it's just takes to try to be right and be ahead of the curve or just get it right before things happen. But I mean the talks before, right, with the Eagles being undefeated, with them being 9-1 was all right, they're not playing good teams. The take today was okay, they won, but I'm concerned with how they won, and I'm concerned with the passing game, and this team potentially looking like the 2021 Eagles of last year, where they were purely a running team, and you need to be a passing team in the playoffs. So you have, I'll go to the exact comments from Elliott Shore Parks and Johnny Marks. Ike had to take him to school today. He had to take him to class because it was just bad. But
I might have heard what you're talking about.
their takes were looking back at the past month, looking back at the past 4 games. Eagles passing game has not been where it was in the beginning of the season. I strongly argue different from that take. And I think there's some just idiotic things that were said, but I think I want to open it up because of that with this question to you guys. How do you define this Eagles team? Are they a passing team? Are they a running team? Are they a fully balanced team across the board? I have my own thoughts, but I need to kick it over to you guys to say this is the type of team the Eagles are.
Go after Brits. Go ahead, Brits.
Yeah, I can go in on this a little bit. I think
All right.
I think what we saw with the Eagles was start of the season we have all these new weapons. We don't really have it. Nobody has any tape on us. They don't know how we're going to use these guys. And we came out hot as hell, throwing the ball all over the field. A.J. Brown was an absolute monster for like 5 weeks in a row, basically. Devontae Smith is still probably one of the best, probably if not the best, the second best number 2 in the league. And
Got to be the best too.
yeah. And we just dominated him in the passing game. Jalen still did his thing on the ground as much as he needed to. And then once that I think teams started to see that, I think it was around week 6 when we played. Oh, I can't remember who we played, but I know it was around week 6. I think we had some troubles in the early game. Oh no, it was Jacksonville. It wasn't even that late. It was Jacksonville, and we started off really slow.
Well, yeah. Yep.
And then the passing game was dying, and we started running it a little bit. And then once they thought we were going to start running the ball, we just started going back to the pass, going back to the run. It was real balanced, exactly what we talked about before the season, where we wanted to see it to be a balanced team because we knew we have such a good running game. We didn't want to get away from it, but now we have all these new weapons, so we want to use them as well. But I think now that what we saw with the Packers game, especially, was the Packers game planned basically to stop A.J. Brown and stop Devontae Smith. It kind of worked, but then Jalen Hurts just takes over the entire game. We give the ball to Miles Sanders, and the running game just ate them alive. So I think what the Eagles do is basically they're a really good adapting team. I mean, it doesn't even have to be at
Yeah.
halftime. It doesn't have to be. It could be at any point in the game where Nick Sirianni he'll say this isn't working. We're gonna go do this, and we can do basically anything on offense right now with any of the best teams in the league. I think we can run and we can pass just as good as anybody.
Yeah, Fritz, I think.
I totally agree. I'll let Jackson give your
Yeah, I
point
was gonna say I totally agree. I think the Eagles are super adaptable, and depending on what scheme the defense is throwing at us, we can always counter that. I think the past few weeks we've been leaning more on the run, probably because Goddard's out and AJ Brown has been dealing with like the hurt ankle that he had. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I think we've been a little injured on offense. Our pass blocking is a little worse than our run blocking, which leads to Jalen scrambling and running more than you would. I don't know. I think that increase in his scrambles increases our total runs for the game, which almost makes it seem like we run more than we do. Because I think a
Right.
lot of design passes end up being runs. But I don't know. I'm like you were saying. I think we're very adaptable. I don't think any team has shown that they can absolutely shut us down. So I'm not really sure why the WIP callers are scared about that. We beat the fucking brakes off the Cowboys, and the Cowboys have like one of the best defenses in the league. I don't know. I think we've been showing up big. One of the big. I'm not trying to get too far off topic, but I know we were talking about the WIP callers, and I just felt like after the game, we're 10-1. We're cruising. Defense absolutely I think the defense was lights out because I think we were playing Aaron Rodgers up against a wall, who was playing maybe the best he's played all year. We're playing Jordan Love, who comes in and is trying to like prove himself, and we kind of held our own against both of them. I think the talk should be about how good this team is, not about like the special teams. Like, what's that about?
Yeah. They're always going to look at something to pick at. I mean, special teams is an issue. We might get into that, but I just hate the fact that we have to bitch about something.
We have to. No. Well, we'll let Harsha shed some light on, share his thoughts on what he thinks this team is. But that's why I wanted to bring it up, just to say, when we talk about this post game, why is this team so good and what we're proud of, and not critique so much, because that's really where we need to start. Of course, we're always going to have concerns, but we need to start by just saying how good this team is. But Harsha, I'll let you speak on that.
So I don't think they're a passing or a running team. Ask me what kind of team I think they are.
That's what we asked you in the beginning. So
no, I know, but you gave me two options.
I'm not gonna repeat it verbatim. You understood what the question was.
No, ask me the question again.
You're not on trial. This isn't Chip.
No, I know, and you know what I am gonna say is they're a winning team, right? And when I say that, like I could give less of, if they win by running teams to death or passing teams to death. Like, it don't matter to me, right? Like, if we're getting dubs and we're getting 10-1 and we've got home field advantage in the NFC playoffs, those WIP calls are going to turn into run the ball more, run the ball more, run the ball more, right? Like, to me, it's about the wins and losses, right? And I know that might be oversimplifying it, but like, okay, yeah, we put up 300 yards rushing because the Packers' defensive front was depleted. Dude, sign me up for that if that keeps getting me wins. Like, if I have to do that again,
thank you.
If I have to do that against Tennessee again, like, sign me up. Like, I'll Mike Vrabel. Like, that's what Mike Vrabel does with his guys. Like, okay, like, we're gonna do that. Like, I don't know. And the WIP stuff, like, that's them trying to, like, do what they do, whatever it is, like, that, that's what they have to do, right? But, like, from a fan perspective, right? And, like, while you guys were talking, I was looking at some stats, and I'll bring this down to you. So, okay, so Brits, your point was, like, the first 6 weeks we were passing the ball more than we were technically running the ball, right?
Yeah.
So to that point exactly, the rushing totals weren't that far off from the passing totals. So, like, okay, yeah, maybe we're running the ball a bit more, right? And if you look at the game,
are you talking total yardage or total like plays?
So I'm looking at, like, passing yards and rushing yards side by side, and it's pretty close. So to your point, we're actually a pretty balanced team. It's just we need to go run the ball. If we need to run the ball and kill clock more during this game, yeah, because Green Bay can torch us, right? Like, that's like, we're an adaptable team that wins. that's the type of team we are, and that's the type of team I'd want to be in the playoffs.
And I think
I'm yeah. Go ahead, Brett.
real quick, I think what like maybe those stats that you like were just talking about, where how it's pretty even. I think those were very skewed by the fact that we were up so much in
Oh,
those games.
absolutely.
You know, so like we
Absolutely.
started running the ball in those later games, but still, it doesn't really matter because you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to run the
Exactly.
ball to run run off some clock anyway. So yeah.
Exactly. And to
Yeah.
that point, exactly the way the game and the way the game went at the end, right? Like I would rather them run the ball to keep Rodgers off the field because in the playoffs, if you can run the ball and keep guys like Rodgers, if we have to run into, I mean, I'm not afraid of Jimmy Garoppolo, but if we run into a Jimmy Garoppolo, right, where they have a bunch
Just
of
that
weapons on
offense,
offense,
yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah.
that offense. You
Yeah.
keep the offense off the field by running the ball, so they have to turn into a ground and pound team. I mean, look at Tennessee. Tennessee made it to the AFC Championship game doing this exact same thing. Like, yo, if this gets us to a home NFC Championship game against the 49ers, dude, sign me up. I
Yeah,
will happily
absolutely.
take that because that's a game we can win.
And
Yeah, I'm
100%.
let
go
me
ahead.
just,
ahead,
to
Jackson.
Harsh's point, I wanted to bring up, like you're saying, this team does what it needs to win in the moment. Like it analyzes the
Yep.
situation and it does exactly what it needs to do. And I think these WIP callers are so used to like Jim Schwartz, who just like plays the wide nine. He needs the players for the wide nine, and whatever happens, he's gonna play that defense.
Yep.
I don't know. I just think we have a team who we play to our players' strengths. We play to the strengths that the game provides us, and that's what we need to do. I just don't think that the WIP callers are able to wrap their heads around it. They see us running one week, they're like they're a run team,
Yeah,
and then like
and
you're
yeah.
saying,
I'm here to get dubs.
we passed too much. We passed too much 2 weeks ago, and they're like, oh, they got to start running, and then we
No,
run this week,
yeah,
and they're like, oh, we got to
exactly.
start passing.
They just find things to nitpick no matter what
Yeah.
happens, and it's really not even the callers. It's just a couple hosts that I have a bone to pick with, and so it's. But Sirianni's been doing what he's been preaching. He treats every game week to week. Let's just go 1-0. He schemes for whatever team we're playing against. And if we talk about the pregame that we looked at last pod against the Packers, I know something I said was run the ball, feed Miles. Miles is going to have a big game.
You did
Like
say
this
that.
was the
He
this was
did.
the thing to do
Yeah.
to beat
Exactly.
the Packers. And what did we see? Miles' best season or best game in the season. They just schemed, and even the runs that Jalen did have. I know Jackson, you said, maybe he scrambles for more yards because the pass protection is not there. I actually disagree with that. I think both the rush and the pass blocking, I think, is probably the best in the league. The offensive line is probably the best part of this team. And I think a lot of those runs that we looked at on Sunday night were actually designed runs where even less so RPO. Like if you go back and look at some of those runs, you had two linemen that were pulling, lane and whatever
Couple of
direction.
times. Yeah.
For a lot, those two linemen would pull in whatever direction that the ball was going, and so whoever the runner was, whether it was Jalen or Miles, there was a good chance that they were going in that direction, no matter what the read was. Because you're leaving that backside open for that defensive end, but you got two blockers they're cutting out in the front. But you can trust this offensive line a lot. I mean, I know there was one play where each blocker was one-on-one man-to-man blocking, and you had Quay Walker spying Jalen the entire game.
Yeah.
But
After
you
the
just had
first two
you
runs.
had Kelsey go downfield and block him. So it's a design run, because otherwise if it's a passing play, it's a legal man downfield. So I think a lot of the plays were just schemed up for this Packers defense, and it wasn't necessarily Jalen scrambling. Although I know what you mean, Jackson. He's done that probably less so this season, but we saw a lot of that last season.
I will say about Jalen scrambling, there were a couple times where I think this was the first
Sure.
game I felt where he took a couple of hits that like I didn't feel like he should be taking, right? And like his body, I think it'll be built for it, right? But I don't, as a fan, right? I would rather the rush yards go to the running backs, right, than my quarterback. Because if I lose my quarterback, like
Right.
to like
I
a
totally
dumb
agree.
hit, like I like if like Jalen shouldn't have to run for 150 yards, like 180 yards, like every game, right? But if we need him to do that, he has the ability to do it, right?
Mhm.
That's fine. I'm okay with that. But that should not be the focal point of our offense. It's a part of it, but I don't want to expose Jalen to those kind of hits.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if it's 80 yards and all those yards are, he's getting out of bounds and not even close to
Of
being hit.
course.
This was definitely a game where I was a little more concerned with just how he fell, just how he
Yeah.
went down, was tackled on a few of those plays. So I can see what you mean. So let's just go to the Packers game then. I do want to highlight all the good things that are happening with the Negadelphia sports talk that's been out there. So
Philadelphia.
for this offense, I mean, just looked amazing. Like, and the throws that Jalen had, this is why I'm not concerned about the passing game. He just dropped dimes. Like, he
Right
was
there.
just between two defenders on a couple plays. I mean, that touchdown to Quez Watkins, the chemistry that they had, and just getting it
Back
to him
shoulder.
at the right time for him to turn around. Just
Mhm.
great things. Miles Sanders, 21 for 143 yards. His longest run was 28 yards with a 6.8 average. So having 143 yards and that average, I mean, he was basically just getting 6-7 yard chunks, not necessarily like a 70 80 yard run that he just broke off and that added to numbers. So
Dude,
it was the scheme that worked
this
for
season has changed
this
my
game.
mind. The season end game has completely changed my mind on Miles Sanders. Like, I think I want to get this guy back. It's like, it's hard. I know it's hard. It's gonna be hard to do, but like, dude, he looks so much
It's
better than he has ever before.
it's health and price, right? So I think the health can actually be okay if he's going to be expect big money.
Yeah,
That's another thing.
I don't know what he's gonna ask for, or what the going rate for a guy like him is really, because running backs are so weird. Like, because
He's kind of middle of the pack.
the best ones get, like, I wouldn't say he's middle of the pack, though. That's the thing. Like, I mean, right now, like, I think he's top 5 in rushing.
Well, I'm saying if you can pay him for middle of the pack, I think I'd be okay with it. But I think he's going to potentially expect top
Right.
tier money.
I feel like with paying Jalen probably like 50 million a year next year, I just don't think you're gonna have enough money.
I mean, yeah.
That's true. I don't know. I obviously the money is hard to work with. I just personally, I would love to see him back on the team somehow.
I would love to keep him, but if it's possible. Yeah.
Brits, to back up your point, he is 5th in league rushing. I am shocked.
Wow.
I was actually shocked when I saw that.
Crazy.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got, Jacobs, Chubb, I think it was. You got, Jacobs, Henry, Chubb,
Henry.
Barkley, and then Miles Sanders.
Crazy. I mean,
I just
like,
like
a
how
hell of a year.
I don't think
Yeah.
Miles like re-signed a back in like 10 years.
I know.
I was
know.
just about to mention that. He's not.
That's another thing he cycles through.
The good thing is
Yeah.
Gamewell looks pretty good. So if he can, even if we don't draft somebody or whatever we end up doing, I think Gamewell will be a solid back to have. If we don't
the
get
fact
Miles.
that
Yeah.
Gainwell has like 9 touchdowns this year doesn't make any sense to
Dude,
me.
he gets so many touchdowns.
They love to throw him in there near the in the red zone, end zone type plays.
Yeah, I feel like because they throw him in there and they just don't know what they're going to use him as. They don't know if they're going to throw a screen to him or
if they think he's a pass catching back and then he just takes it in. Yeah.
I would love to see
We also own a late first round pick this year, and there are a couple of running backs that might be sitting at that pick. So you get a running back on a rookie contract.
So
save some money for Jalen.
Hopefully you get that 32nd pick. But looking at this game, because the offense was hot, they're rolling. So I think it's got to be on the offensive side. But if you were to give a game ball to anybody, offensive line, Sirianni, Shane Steichen, Miles Sanders, Jalen, who are you giving this game ball to?
Does it have to be offense?
No.
If you want to say defense, make your argument.
There's someone on the defense I'd give a game ball to, but go ahead.
Well, make your argument.
I think Reed Blankenship, deserves a game ball.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
Okay.
I mean, hell of a play.
Yeah, because it was a great play, and then also too, like, CJ GJ is like one of the leaders of our defense, and to seamlessly slot a rookie in and have him go and do it, undrafted rookie, and have him slot in like that against Rodgers. Like, I think that's saying something.
And
I think
to
that shows
read him
depth
like
of this
that
team.
too. Read a veteran quarterback like Rodgers, like a Hall of Fame quarterback, and just step up like that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
But
I'm actually going to go defense as well, but I'm giving it to the entire defensive line.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Like you're saying, I feel like Reed came in, he played perfectly. We had a big game from Josiah Scott. He got the pick. So, I don't know. The whole secondary played well. I think that Rodgers was on the money, like I said earlier. I think he was on the money more this game than any other game. I think he really wanted to win. And I think Jordan Love was coming in hungry. You get right off that pass to Watson. He was slinging. But I think our defensive line got enough pressure to kind of stifle a bunch of their drives. I think our pressure was the reason that our secondary did so good, and I think without our defensive line, we would have lost the game.
I felt like those 2 sacks were momentum changers because I felt like the Packers were starting to build some momentum after those like couple of scores, and then we got them with the one, and then the other. I think just killed momentum for them right there. So yeah, definitely D line's definitely right up there.
Those sacks were momentum killers, and then they were just under duress the entire game. They just didn't have much time.
I would
Yep.
probably. I mean, it's hard not to give it to Miles Sanders. It's either Miles Sanders or Jalen here for me because Jalen breaks the all-time Eagles rushing record,
Yeah.
beating Mike Vick's record out. Then he gives a fantastic post-game press conference about how much respect he gave to like the former Eagles quarterbacks, all basically not all running quarterbacks, but all guys known for their running game, Donovan, Randall, and Mike Vick. And I just thought that was awesome. That he like, I mean, he's a young guy, obviously, just him knowing the Eagles history like that and giving respects to those guys. So I'd probably have to give it to Jalen just because, I mean, breaking an all-time Eagles record.
No love for Vince Young? Come on, man. Dream team.
Oh, come on. Get out of here.
Get
out of town.
That's one of the things we never talk about, though. Like what Jay was talking about. Literally every single like good running quarterback in the NFL has played for the Eagles. None.
It's
I mean,
crazy.
It's true.
More, but...
And you had Randall on the radio talking about Jalen today too, and giving him some praise. So you got the Eagles had them all. I think covered it. Yeah.
Oh, honorable mention Lane Johnson for almost breaking his knee.
For breaking his leg,
but not breaking his knee.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Oh, I was scared once I saw he was okay on the next play. I was like, thank God, because I just did not see that going well.
Dude, he's so
Andre Dillard
good.
time. Andre Dillard.
I think he's fine though, isn't he?
He came in and guard. Landon Dickerson, I think he took his place for a couple of plays there.
Yeah.
I think so. But I mean, I would give it to the whole offensive line. I mean, pass protection and just run blocking too. I mean, they you could give it to any running back. Boston Scott, Gainwell, Sanders. They were all getting their yards. I mean, Kenny Gainwell, 8 for 39. So like, no matter who you're giving it to, you're going to get yards. Again, 6.8 average for Miles Sanders. I think they control. If you had a 1-to-1 blocking scheme, because I mean the Packers kept throwing a 4-man rush, or they would sometimes rush 5. If it was 5v5, we covered. But on the opposite end, to Jackson's point, if we were rushing 4, we were getting pressure on 5 linemen. So, and then a sack when you rushed Reddick on a blitz. So 3 sacks, 2 interceptions on the day. You got to give the defense some praise here, especially with Reed stepping up and making a play on Rodgers like that. Such a beautiful read. Nobody saw that guy coming. Came out of nowhere.
Not even Rodgers.
No, I don't think he. But 253 passing yards on the day. Take away a weird play from Christian Watson, 63-yarder, less than 200 yards passing. They went more man in this game. So I like to see them change it up, especially with Slay on Watson and Slay on Lazard. It's 2 bigger guys that are a little slower, but can have breakaway speed at times. But I mean, there are concerns with CJ GJ going down. We already know Maddox is out. Josiah Scott's playing okay. I know you. I mean, he did have the pick, but he also let up a touchdown. So it's from man-to-man coverage on Randall Cobb. So it's going to hurt to lose CJ GJ. I think he'll come back, and I think he'll be okay. Just lacerated kidney, but you guys have any concerns with?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a 2 to 3 week injury, just heal on rest type of thing.
Right. I'm actually. I mean,
rough. It's rough, but
you never want to see like an internal injury like that. That's scary.
Of course, yeah.
But like it's almost better in a way that it's not like a performance part, like body part. You know what I'm saying? Like so, like when he comes back, he should be fully to go. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Bro, that's a performance body part. I don't know what you talking about, bro.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not like a
high ankle sprain,
high ankle
hamstring,
or something like that. You know what I mean?
Like
where he's like
something that
where he
slows
comes back
down.
and where he comes back and he's not like his old self. I mean, I don't know. I don't know much about Kenny. He's not a doctor, but like obviously it's probably extremely painful. But
I was gonna say, I think with the kidney, with it being the kidney, you'd imagine tackling people, your organs are getting jumbled around every single time you tackle. You got to worry about him being like nervous to hit people as hard as he
To
does.
hit
He's kind
again.
of like the enforcer of the defense right
Yeah,
now. in the
because I'm
back
pretty
end.
sure that's how he got hurt too, by just laying that guy out.
Yep.
Yeah. No, so maybe it's more of a mental thing, but that's my concern. If he can come back 100% as he was, I'm
He's a
more,
dog. He'll be fine.
I'd rather him, take the
Soldier
time he needs
mentality.
to be playoff ready. Yeah, be a dog. But
Fingers
Soldier
crossed.
mentality.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed that's the last secondary injury we have for the playoffs.
Seriously.
I mean,
well,
and hopefully
Maddox,
Maddox
him,
and CJ
and
get back before.
and Jordan Davis. Hopefully he comes back and he's the same, and
He should be back
has,
soon, right?
improves the run defense. Could be ready this week potentially in
Okay.
couple weeks. So we'll
Could
take a
use
look at
him.
that.
I did feel like
So,
our rush defense was a little weak.
So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but you have to say a lot of their running back, like a lot of their gains from the running backs, I feel like were in the passing game. I thought that
right.
they're a really good running team, and I thought we held them somewhat well.
I mean, with AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones, 106 yards on the day. So that's pretty damn good, I would say, for those two. But I think it was more passing yards that they had, probably more so than running yards.
Yeah.
But I know. All right. So Howie with the free agents. Okay. Topic that came up today. Would you do this? Why or why not? Would you, with GJ being hurt, sign Malcolm Jenkins?
No.
Hey, free agent?
Well, he's retired.
He's
but-
retired.
Oh, you're tired.
And
Yeah.
So, like, I
To me-
mean, dude.
So quick no. So give me the quick why nots. Because I agree. I actually agree with you on this.
I mean, how old is he,
think-
bro? He hasn't played in like.
I mean,
year and
maybe a
half.
year. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just think Malcolm is such a leader, and this locker
There-
room, especially the
yeah.
defense, is already so defined that bringing him in might just like mess things up a little bit.
And that's more of the reason that I side with than the whole just being old thing. I think if he could just come in as a player and just be a player and not be a leader of the defense and kind of shift the dynamic and the culture, I think that's kind of my reasoning. Let it be a new team. Kind of going with the whole theme of new era, new team. Let Jalen kind of be the leader, captain of this team, and don't kind of mess with that vibe.
I don't.
Is my
think
thought.
I don't think he would like mess with it per se. I mean, I guess. I
Because I
can see that.
I think he comes back and he's better than Reed Blankenship and Kayvon Wallace. I can't see that guy out there. So
That's true.
talent wise, I can make an argument. But
yeah,
leader, yeah.
actually, with what you're saying, if he can come in and take like a back seat and not necessarily like become like the leader of the defense, then I think actually it might
I just don't think he can do that though.
Yeah,
knowing
no.
him, I just don't
I mean,
believe
how
it.
many guys has he got on that defense that were besides like Fletch and Brandon Graham,
I mean, that's it, right? As far as vets that he knows,
and then
Maddox?
Maddox is Maddox.
yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I think.
TJ Edwards possibly might have crossed over like a year with Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
So-
many people though.
So I
Yeah.
don't know. It's a weird situation. Honestly, I would be
Barnett.
worried about his performance. Obviously, I mean,
He would be compared to.
he's a 34-year-old guy who's not played football in a year and a half.
Yeah, let's just develop Reed.
I mean, like,
All right.
so like, I mean,
So-
like, what he would probably be. You're probably right. He probably would be better than like the undrafted rookie and.
You don't know that.
I
You don't
mean,
know
he
that.
played well. I guess I don't know. It's
You don't know that.
I would.
you don't know though.
I think
Yeah.
it's like a shot in the dark that we don't need to take. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think you can get through the rest of the season without, still getting the first seed. Have CJ come back. He's good to go and problem solved. So
I'm gonna change my opinion on this. I actually would be in favor of bringing them back as we were talking. And
Of course.
hold on. Let me put it this way. Okay. So when the Rams won the Super Bowl last year, a certain safety
yeah,
came out of retirement for them and played week 17 and then was their defensive signal caller throughout the entirety of the playoffs, right? Year out of football and he still did it. So, okay, in limited doses, I would be okay with Jenkins coming back for two reasons. One, right, having that kind of championship experience in this city would be helpful, but I agree with what you guys are saying and how this should be Jalen's team, but that's just like, if Malcolm is the leader that we know him to be, he will understand this is not my team. I have to step back and play the supporting role because Jalen is now running this team. This is now being run by like guys who are younger, right? Like I will provide my experiences because I could potentially get a ring out of this. if he's like that leader, that's fine, right? The other thing why I would bring him back is before he transitioned to safety, Malcolm Jenkins was a slot corner for the Saints. Depending upon how long Maddox is out, Jenkins could be a very handy slot corner. And then we also saw him while he was here. He played in the box,
Mhm.
right? So if you're running up against teams
He
who
was
are
basically a
doing
linebacker.
Yeah.
that's exactly. So it's called a money backer. That's like a
Yeah.
whole new position in the NFL. But essentially, like if you're gonna run against like to the point of you have to if you're gonna play in the playoffs, you have to win by passing, right? I don't agree with that assumption, but that's the assumption that other people say, right? If you're running like your base defense, you could potentially stick Jenkins at the linebacker slot, and he could cover a running back, right? Because he's played in the box before, so you could have him either in the slot or as a covering a running back if he gets motioned out. So key takeaway, I would be in favor of bringing him back, but it's got to be with certain conditions that I think Howie has to set up front with him.
Yeah. No, I agree, but
It's
it's
a good.
kind of like this. I just think there's something about culture and having that dog mentality of we got there with the team that we started with and just the season that we went through together.
Yeah, but
And
that's not necessarily true though, because you signed Linval Joseph and Ndamukong
that's true.
too,
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. There's
because you
other
knew
things
that
to
was a
argue that.
weakness, right? I think that goes to the
Yeah.
adaptation
That's
of the
fair.
team. You
Yeah.
have to adapt to your situation.
Additionally, Howie, like as soon as we had injuries on the line, got Linval and
Of course, yeah,
so
the free agents,
and I feel
It's a
like
yeah, on the
similar
D line.
situation. Yeah.
I feel like
Mhm.
having Jenkins as the Swiss Army knife does like help because I'd rather have him than Scott. I potentially would rather have him than Reed Blankenship coming in, and like also like you're saying, putting him in the middle linebacker position, you can kind of just fill a bunch of holes or beef
Exactly.
up new defenses with him there. I think it's probably a big
Yep.
plus to have him.
One for
And it's
all
someone who
type
probably
of deal.
knows the playbook too. Like he knows the playbook, he knows how to operate in the organization. So like I know it's a different coordinator and stuff like that, but like the level of like when it comes to like him ramping up, right? It's not going to be like, oh, I have to go to a new organization, I have to figure it all out. It's like, oh, dude, I was here for God knows, like I was here for like 4 or 5 years. I know my way around here. I know what I need to get done. I know what the expectation is. Okay, I just have to get myself in shape and play ball.
And he did play with Gardner Johnson for a couple years since he was last with
Mhm.
the Saints. So I don't know
Exactly.
for whatever that's worth, if it is for anything. All right, let's move on. Since interest of time, I want to get to Jackson's Madden rankings, but first, let's just do a quick Eagles preview against the Titans. Keys to winning this game, guys. So just to give you guys some stats, passing yard. We know what this team is. I don't have to really give you the stats, but passing yards, 29th in the league, 26th in passing touchdowns. Tannehill has the same amount of touchdowns as Henry does at 10. 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So they don't at least turn the ball away through picks. But obviously, Derrick Henry's the main part of the story. Their defense, though, interesting. Same idea on the flip side. Really good against the run, first against touchdowns, third in rushing yards, and terrible against the pass. Basically, last in the league against touchdowns and passing. So
Sounds like an
I'll
AJ
ask
Brown revenge game.
I'll ask you guys, but yeah, I think that's my key to the game. But I'll let you guys elaborate.
I think they got to win in the trenches, right? Because if it's the number one rush defense versus our offensive line, our best weapon against Derrick Henry is not having him on the field. Same thing as the Green Bay game, right? So we have to get our rushing attack going, right? And pass when we need to. My preference would be for them to rely on the ground game and dominate up front. I think that offensive line is the key.
I'm gonna say the exact opposite, and agree with Britt here. I think is AJ Brown. He's getting another 150 yards, 3 touchdowns, going back facing his old team. I think you run RPO and show the run after coming off a game where you dominated in the run. So make them think that you're going to that, and then just do quick slants. AJ Brown, yak yards all day. I think you're not. I don't think you're ever going to stop Derrick Henry, and so I think your best defense is your offense, just to score quickly and then make them
Right.
go to the pass
That's what I
early.
was gonna say. Just getting a lead here is huge. Can't let them get a lead on us and then run out clock,
Yep.
because that could be a Washington game all over again. Um,
Yep.
yeah, it's tough. Derrick Henry's like I kind of agree with you, Caputi. How do you stop him? I mean, he's gonna get like probably at least 80 yards. Like, I mean, he's gonna be involved a little bit in the screen game.
Yeah.
So like I think that it's tough because I want to say what Harsh is saying makes sense. Just, if we can run, even though they are a great rush defense, that's ideal because we keep them off the field. But like, I don't think I would say like keeping a running back off the field is my main concern, even though he is one of the best.
I mean, so my counter to both of you is this, right? If Tennessee gets the ball, you know what's coming, right? And we saw what
Yeah.
AJ Dillon did to us. Like, what was AJ Dillon's average yard per carry?
It's a good question.
I can't tell you
Like
his
5.
average, but I think he had probably 60 yards on the day, maybe 40 to
6 probably.
60 yards
Okay, so
total.
46 yards. So reasonably, we could say he probably put up anywhere between like 3, 4, maybe 5 yards a carry, right? And I'm not saying AJ Dillon is like a Derrick Henry, but like similar type of back where he's going to be bigger than pretty much any of our linebackers or any of our secondary guys. So
He had 8
my
yards per
pref.
carry.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like we know our rush defense is an issue, right? So we cannot expose them. So you have to at least okay. I'll rephrase my statement to we have to play the clock control game because that's what Vrabel's going to do because of the running back he has. We have to control
Yeah.
the clock and we have to dominate time of possession. How do you do that? You win in the trenches.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
I think Vrabel's just going to go to Derrick Henry no matter what. If they're down 20-0 and it's the fourth quarter, he's still going to run Derrick Henry. That's just how that team works. Not really. Obviously, they'll start to pass a lot more. But I
Right.
think if it's a good day if you hold Derrick Henry to 80 yards. Like that's a
Of
good
course.
day.
right.
Of course.
And so I just think you go with what's been working the rest of the season, Eagles scoring really quick and then making the other teams turn to the passing game early. That's just my
Yep.
thought. The Commanders, it was, again, we talked about it. It's the perfect formula of, them getting the lead and just having to run the ball the rest of the game, not having to pass as much. But
Right.
Jackson, thoughts on that?
Yeah, my thoughts are I don't really think that the Titans have enough to keep the chains moving against us consistently enough to win. I know Derrick Henry is a great running back, but I know he also has like the highest stuff percentage in the NFL. So I think to me that means that I know I don't watch the Titans very often, but I imagine that means he gets stuffed a lot, but his like chance of breaking one's pretty big. So I think he'll probably get like 3 or 4 big runs, but I feel like we're gonna stuff him enough to force him into third down uh, situations, and I don't think they're gonna convert on them enough to beat us. I know their passing game has kind of been down this season, and I mean for the past like 7 years. But I think
By this
Treylon Burks,
season.
I think Treylon Burks is good. He was on IR for most of the season. I think he came back like last week, 2 weeks ago, and I think he
Thanks,
had a good
Caputi.
week last week. And so I'm thinking their passing game could be a little better this week with him being in the lineup. Uh, I don't know. I think, like you guys are saying, I think it's going to be similar to the Washington game. I think Washington was a little bit more
I don't
what
want
you
to be
need
too
to be
similar.
to beat us.
Yeah, that's what I don't want it to be like. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in order to beat us, you have to be able to run consistently. Washington didn't get like huge yards per carry,
Right.
but they got
Yeah.
like 3 consistently, I think.
Hmm.
And then they have like a lot of good up and coming wide receivers, and Heineke's pretty accurate. I think if you can consistently get into like third and shorts against us and then convert it with like a short pass or like a couple short runs, then you're gonna be able to have like pretty good success against us. But I just don't think that they're gonna do that. I think we're gonna be able to stuff them enough, and I don't think their defense is gonna be good enough to stop us. We consistently overperform against good defenses. I think AJ Brown, like you're saying, AJ Brown revenge game, that's going to be big. Jalen loves AJ. He's going to be feeding him. I
Yep.
expect maybe 1, 2
Yeah.
touchdowns out of him. I think if we can get 3 or 4 touchdowns, which I think we can, like maybe even 2 with a couple field goals, we're going to win. And I think we can do that.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. I don't think we have to score a ton in this game, but I think like this team's not a great offensive team. I'm not too scared of them. I'm glad that the rush defense has been better since that terrible Washington game. I mean, obviously AJ Dillon had a good game against us, but overall the rush defense was pretty good. Um, the Titans don't look like I'm not gonna like sit here and say that I'm not worried about Derrick Henry, but I'm looking at some stats from last week. Derrick Henry had 38 yards last week and 2 yards a carry. He got absolutely stuffed by the Bengals defense. And Bengals have a pretty good defense, but I trust our defense more than the Bengals. And if Derrick Henry's looking human like that, I think we got a good shot.
Well, he did have 2 catches for like 79 yards, so it was one of those things where he got a dump play and screen.
Yeah,
But
but he also, he fumbled that one.
but
So
right, but yeah, and if he could have just carried 2 more yards to give me that touchdown, I would appreciate it. But no, I get your point. Like it was still generally a good game to take care of business with Derrick Henry. I'm actually the more I talk about this, the less I'm actually worried about this team. Harsha, every game does come down to the trenches, so you're absolutely right in that respect. But I just think this is a team, Tennessee Titan team, that doesn't score a lot. That what do they probably average? 17 to 20 points a game. If we can pull a
You
stat on
overlook the
that.
Commanders, guys. You
Um,
overlook the Commanders, and look what
No,
happened.
no, don't. Never overlook any team. But I would just say that if you could score quick, and the thing with the Commanders is like Jackson was kind of alluding, explaining this. It was 3-yard chunk plays where that was the whole plan of attack all the way downfield. With Derrick Henry, it's either going to be a long run that's going to get us the ball back, I think, more quickly in Jalen's hands to score, or it's I think we're going to get the third down turnover. So I think it's just going to work out more in our favor, and it's going to be they're going to be a little bit different of a good running team compared to the Commanders.
yeah, I mean
is
the
my
only
thought.
thing that scares me is that just like the Titans show up and they're like they are not a team that lays down only for anybody.
They play smart.
Yeah,
They
so
play
like
smart.
Mike
Yeah.
Vrabel's a great coach and he's gonna have a good game plan. So it's just gonna come down to us playing our game. I think if we play any like just basically an average game for us this season, which has been pretty dominant, then I think we should be fine. As long as we don't
Yeah.
bite ourselves in the ass, like we'll be fine.
I
And
mean,
by the way,
roster-wise, this is a team that's 7-4. That is 7-4 probably because of coaching and playing to his player strengths. So
right. And also
know.
the Titans have not put up over 27 points all season. So
okay,
I mean they're
Well,
averaging
there you go.
they're averaging like I think you're probably spot on that. Like I'm looking at the scores here, it's probably like 20.
Okay, which is plenty for us to get the job done with this offense.
Right.
As long as it's an average day for us.
Exactly.
Okay, I think that covers the Titans. Let's kick it over to Jackson. I've been excited for this bit. We've been trying to get to this one, but Madden rankings for Eagles players, right? So
I'm excited to hear some more, guys.
I'll kick it over to you, Jackson. Take it from here.
Yeah, so I feel like we've been teasing this for almost a month now.
Seems like it. Yeah.
I'm deeming it Madden Madness,
Okay.
and we've got quite a few people on the team, so I thought maybe I'd do something where I read off 5 names. You guys collectively guess each one of their rankings, and whoever is in the lead at the end of the 5 wins.
Ooh, I like this.
Oh, I'm okay with that. Game on.
All right.
If it's a 2-2 tie between 2 people, we'll do a tiebreaker. And so since we're only doing 5 this week, I'm keeping. You guys have to keep yourselves honest. Don't look at the Madden ratings.
I won't.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
All right. So first off, I'm gonna go with. I think who everybody thinks I should go with, Jalen Hurts.
Okay. So
Madden
real quick,
ratings are
is it
weird?
These are Madden
Harsha
ratings
instantly
that
looking
are,
it up.
yeah. To
It's
date or
updated-
before the start of the season, like how,
Updated as of today.
Harsha, we can
As of
see when you're
today.
looking it up.
Okay.
By the way.
It's good.
Yeah.
Right. His screen went blank.
That's we know how the iPad works now, dude. Not even denying it. Okay, we're just doing one by one.
But yeah,
Player?
you guys can collectively discuss it if you want, and then come to your answers.
Madden's so
Histor-
weird, dude. It's like
Historically, I feel like they underrate players.
yeah, they do.
They definitely do.
Fair.
I think year
And
2.
they update them, right? Are these updated?
These are they update them to
Okay.
be with how the season's playing out. So I
Okay.
would say I
Jalen
would
might be
put
high.
Jalen at an 87.
Okay.
See, I was going somewhere. I was gonna go somewhere around there
Because
too, and you kind of took my
90,
number.
90 and above is great, but a second-year player, I just feel like
Right.
that's the improvement where it's like he's better. He's better than that, but that's kind of where it sits.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I had my number. I'm gonna go 86.
Okay.
All right, you're gonna do the.
Well, I was gonna go 86, and then you took 87,
yeah,
and I was trying to.
I was gonna go 86 at first too, and I was like, nah, let me give him a little bit more.
And then I thought about doing 88, but like, I don't know. That might be too high.
Yeah,
It
too
might
high.
be 88.
Nice strategy.
might be. Harsh.
I mean, am I allowed to go into this one?
No, wait.
You already-
Wait, you actually
did you
looked
look
it up?
You defeat
Nah,
the purpose of the
I
whole
didn't.
game.
I was looking at another Eagles stat. I thought I was gonna bring
okay.
something up.
Okay, you're allowed. You're allowed.
I was gonna go 79 with Jalen, right? Because when I think
Oof.
back to like, well, no. Madden historically underrates guys, right? Like when Jalen came into
Way
this
too
year,
low.
like
Way too low.
all right, you know what? Here, put me at an 80, right? I'll say 80 for Jalen, just because like I think we saw how good he could be, right? But he hadn't done it yet because he had like I think we said in an earlier,
These
but he
are
just didn't have the
updated.
weapons.
But these are updated.
Yeah, and this was updated, but like I'm gonna say 80 for now, right? Because it's Madden,
All right.
right? Like they underrate guys, so I'm gonna stick with 80.
All right,
Okay.
so you guys are all confirmed. 87, 86, 80.
Yeah. Lock it
All
in.
right. Brits and Harshy, you guys both get a point because it was 83. You guys are tied. 3
Oh.
all each,
Oof.
What?
Damn.
Okay.
right?
Yeah. No,
83?
because of
Love
it.
83.
It's got to be because
I
of the
think the
year.
league's
Gotta be.
like Madden is
Wow.
still sleeping on Jalen Hurts' passing ability. I think that rating goes to an 87 next year because they're seeing that he can start picking,
No, I
he can
agree.
pick people
Yeah.
apart from the pocket.
I can see
They
him
just
being-
don't up. That makes
Yeah.
sense now because they probably started him at an 80 and he went to 83 or something.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So,
Something like
all
that.
right.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. So next, let's go with Jason Kelsey.
This
Okay,
has
a
got to
guy
be high.
who's been a high rating forever.
Mainstay.
Getting a little bit older. Okay.
He's still
Man.
one of the best in the league, though. If not the
Yeah,
best in the league.
no, he is. I mean, hell, I give him a 99 if it were me.
Right? I mean,
Um,
he's got to be 90s. I mean, I hope he's 90s.
he's definitely 90s.
Jackson, I'm gonna go with 93 on my, or not 93. I'm gonna go with 95 on my guess.
95.
was-
Okay.
That
Nice.
was, that was
That's
my
saying
that
best
was
center in the game
yeah
or something.
that was my initial guess.
It's a good
My
number.
initial thought.
This is tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 95 too. I'm gonna go 95.
Okay. 295.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
Actually,
You guys are
I
killing
was
me.
Which one? Hold on, hold on, nah,
94, but I
you
swear
go
to God, that was
95.
my original.
You go 95. I'm gonna go 93.
93.
Of course,
93.
original. All right,
I can
I
be
don't care.
original.
I'll be up on my players. That's fine.
I'm gonna. Oh, fuck.
Tough.
This is probably dumb, but I'm gonna do it. I'm going 96.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so we got both ends covered.
I was gonna
So-
say 91. And I just went up 5 points.
Because he's been
So,
good forever. Like that's the thing.
95, 96, 93.
Yeah.
Harshy gets the point. 91.
I was gonna say 91, dude. I was
Oh.
gonna say 91.
I feel like they're sleeping on him.
Oh,
Wow,
dude,
okay.
I should have just said
Wow,
it.
all right.
Oh, so bad.
All right, I just need to go way low.
Gotta go with my
okay?
gut, dude.
All right, I gotta go way low. All
Was
right.
that 2 for me and 1 for Brits and nothing for
Yeah.
Caputi?
Yep.
Dude,
I'm just giving the
why didn't
correct
I just go with,
ratings. So
I would have had it right on
Yeah,
the nail if I
exactly.
just went with my gut.
All right. So we're gonna go with somebody who I feel like gets kind of slept on with the Eagles a little bit. I think he is a mainstay of the defense and is
probably yeah,
not talked about very often. Javon Hargrave.
probably like a 60 then. No.
He's a Pro Bowler last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, he's
I thought Sweat was a Pro Bowler last year, not Hargrave.
D tackle. This is gonna be
Could I be wrong?
Go-
Maybe.
it's gonna be 80s. It's not gonna be high 80s.
82.
I'm gonna say 83 or 82. Yeah.
82.
Yep.
82,
My
82.
82 is my first guess. I'm gonna go 82. Yeah, which is good for a tackle in Madden, I think. That's what I'm gonna go with.
I'm gonna go with 79 for Hargrave. I hate saying that. I think he should be in the 80s, but I think they put him at a 79.
Once you go under 80 though, that's where it's like okay, like the guy might actually be kind of bad. I feel like.
Right.
So
JJ Watt was under 80 when he was a
It's-
rookie, man.
Well, he's a rookie.
Yeah,
82.
rookies are always
80.
like in the 70s.
They're always
True.
bad. 82.
that
Probably
Sure.
lower.
Judy, Joe, you guys both get the point. It was
Nice.
81.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Okay.
81.
Wait, did you both
okay.
go with 80?
Oh, no, 82.
82. Yeah.
And wait, hold on. I said 79.
Yeah, it's 81.
Yes. Oh, 80. And it was 8. Wait, no. Hold on.
It was 81. It was 81. You said 79.
80
You were 2 off. We were 1 off.
You guys said 80. I thought you guys. Oh, you just said 82. Okay, never mind. Sorry. It was 81. I thought Jackson said 80.
All right, 2-2-1. Or
Okay,
yeah,
so it's
2-2-1.
2-2-1. Okay.
All right,
Got
for
it.
this one, I'll let you guys pick a player.
Ooh.
Okay. How
What
about
about- What about
Darius Slay?
Devontae? Ooh, okay.
Devontae?
Devontae? I'll do
Slay.
Is
Devontae.
that unanimous?
I'll do Devontae.
Let's do
All right, we're
Devontae.
doing Devontae.
This is a
That's a
tough
good
one.
one.
This is a tough one. I feel
This
like.
is a tough one. Rookie last year.
Year 2.
Are we allowed to ask for benchmarks?
No.
I can give you his descriptor.
I want to know what AJ Brown's Madden
Can
rating
you use
is.
can you use
I can't-
Devontae
I-
Smith
I
in
can't
a sentence?
divulge AJ Brown because that may be used in a.
Okay, can you hold on? Can you give me Adam Thielen's Madden rating?
I'm working off paper right now. I don't have everybody in the league.
Can you
Come on,
can you use-
man.
Can you use Devontae Smith in a sentence?
I'm asking for a
Devontae Smith.
benchmark here. It's a fair
Oh.
question.
No, because that defeats it.
They describe him as deep threat.
Oh, it's like a 60 then. Deep threats suck.
AJ Brown is described as physical.
So there's not much description there.
Wow. All right.
Okay, Devontae.
You got to think as a rookie who's probably 70.
76.
76. Okay. AJ Brown is the same height as Devontae Smith, but
Really?
54
He
pounds
is?
heavier.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wait, how tall is Devontae Smith?
They're both 6 foot.
He is tall. Oh, 6 foot? That's not
I thought
big.
AJ Brown was like.
I thought Devontae
6'1"
Smith was
at
like
least.
5'10.
6 foot.
So did I. I thought AJ Brown was like 6'1" at least. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going 76.
79.
79. Okay.
I think it could be 80, but I'm going to say 79.
Could be, but I feel like they're blue balling him.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'll go 78.
I would give him like an
I
84.
I don't feel good about that, but I
What'd you
feel like
say? 74
I said 78.
or 78? Okay. I said
Don't feel-
76, and you got what? Caputi?
What do you got? Caputi?
79.
All right. Caputi, you win.
What is it?
84.
What?
84?
Wait, I just said I would.
Nice.
I just said I would give him an 84. So I'm
Wow.
saddened.
Jalen Hurts.
That's not higher than
Does that
Jalen
tie it up,
Hurts.
Jackson? I feel like
That's-
everybody's on 2
That
now.
ties it up.
That's tied up. It's the
Ties it up.
tiebreaker.
Everybody's tied. Everybody's
It all
tied.
comes down to this. Oh man.
Just pick the same number.
Oh god. All right. I'm gonna give you guys somebody wild. I think.
Dude, Reed Blankenship.
Reed
No, that's like
Blankenship.
60.
No.
No,
Yeah, 'cause
unrated.
you guys know
Unrated.
he's low.
Unrated.
Okay.
Man.
I'll give you guys the option. Do you want Jordan Mailata or Derek Barnett?
Let's do Jordan.
Oh wait. Jordan
Derek's
Mailata.
hurt.
We're doing Jordan Mailata or TJ Edwards.
I'm going to go TJ Edwards.
All right, let's go TJ Edwards because that's a hard one to get.
That is
Yeah,
a hard
it
one.
could be
That
anyone.
is a hard one.
Yeah, okay. Middle linebacker. Good season last year. I don't know how many
Described
years
as-
into
He's
Yeah.
described as field general.
field general. Wow, okay. That's a good description. Harsha looking it up.
No. Someone, hold on. Someone just came in. Give me 1 second.
By the way, Jalen Hurts is described as improviser.
Interesting choice of words for
This
these
is fucking
descriptions.
hard, dude.
TJ
Right.
Edwards.
TJ Edwards. What are you guys thinking?
All right, I'm just gonna say it first. 78.
78. Okay.
See, I was gonna go with something like that. I was thinking 77.
All right, guys, I'm back.
Well,
78, 77 from Brits. Is that your final, Brits?
No, not yet.
Actually, no, that's not my final either. I think I have to go.
All right. 80.
80. Okay. I think 80's fair. He's a good player. He's
I'm just gonna teeter on that
also new.
that 80s and 70s level.
79. Yeah, I'm going 79.
79. Okay.
Every single time I've done my last picks, like I've tried to go in between Caputi and Brits just to
79 and a half.
just to
Top of
cover
that.
myself.
Can't do that.
Nah, I'm gonna take a risk on this one. I'm gonna say 82. I'm gonna go a little higher. I've been going low on a lot of players, but I'm gonna go 82 on this one.
Okay.
Take a little bit of a risk here.
All right. So all 3 guesses are in. One of you guys has won, and not only did you win, you got it exactly on the money. TJ Edwards is ranked in 82.
Whoa!
Oh, wow. All right.
Damn.
Archie is the winner of
Wow!
Madden
I
Madness.
Good
Damn.
win.
did not
Good win.
expect that.
Archie
That was
looked
a
it
total
up.
guess.
Okay.
Nah, you
No,
looked it
that
up.
was a total,
Yeah,
like-
wow.
No,
Yeah.
no, like Camille literally just came into the room, and like I did like
Alright.
off camera for a hot second. But no, I like honestly like I even like I don't know if you noticed when we were doing that, I kept trying to go in between you guys, so like I
Yeah,
would be
it's a
close
game
enough to like
strategy.
get 1 point.
Cover. Yeah, whatever. All right, we
It's a
Yeah.
winning strategy.
Next time we gotta do
Pri-
it in a
price
draft
is
order.
right.
Is it a draft or a snake draft?
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Can't steal any numbers, but
We'll make some
Yeah.
improvisations to the game.
just like
Perfect.
Jalen. But that's the pod. So if you were to rate the pod, 99 across the board. But
Oh, yeah.
we'll end it there for the night. We're doing it again, guys. 2 weeks in a row. Recording on a Tuesday. We're releasing on a Wednesday. I'm staying up until all night until Brits post it. So look out for it tomorrow on Wednesday.
He's not
and then
doing that.
We'll
I did last week.
unless you talk fantasy trades all night. But we'll catch you same time next week. Look for it on Wednesday early morning, and we'll see you next time for episode 37.
All right,
Peace.
see you guys.
Launch and landed.
Launched and landed, baby.
Peace.